I knew I was going to be a basketball player. I always was the best in basketball, you know. I left all my friends in Slovenia.
A lot of people told me, you're too young to go, but I didn't want to listen to them, I want to listen to me.
My basketball journey has been a lot of fun.
I am excited, you know, it's NBA, it's the best league.
Luka Dončić has made everybody ooh and ah! Absolutely spectacular from Luka Dončić!
Luka Dončić has taken the NBA by storm since he entered the league in 2018. Luka has recorded 25 triple-doubles in his first 2 seasons, and according to the Elias Sports Bureau, that's the second most in NBA history, only trailing Oscar Robertson. Last season, Luka got his first taste of the postseason as he went up against the Clippers in the first round. All he did was have a buzzer-beating playoff moment in Game 4 and almost averaged a 30-point triple-double. His 31 points per game, 6th most by a player in his first postseason appearance in NBA history. And this season, Luka continued his hot hand, got 32 in his first game against Phoenix in the opener. And our friends at Caesars Sportsbook by William Hill think Luka can become the youngest MVP winner in NBA history. Currently the favorite at plus 300 to win the award. The 21-year-old Slovenian sits down with our Rachel Nichols.
God rest ye merry, gentle Mary, God rest ye merry.
Dončić looking for that dagger.
Gorgeous move from Luka Dončić. What can he do?
Luka, this is your first Christmas Day game in the NBA. What are you looking forward to about it?
Oh yeah, very excited. This is my first one, and we play the champions. That's why I'm excited too. So it's gonna be a fun day, fun game, and a lot of people is gonna be watching. So I hope that it's gonna be a great game.
Do you have a favorite Christmas memory from growing up?
When you were a little kid, the presents you got, I think that was my favorite part in the morning. So I couldn't sleep.
This historic 2020 NBA championship belongs to the Los Angeles Lakers.
So this year, instead of getting presents under the tree for Christmas, you are getting the defending champion LA Lakers. The first time you played LeBron James, you were only 19 years old. We've seen the picture of you standing outside the locker room waiting for him to sign a jersey. So much has changed since then.
Obviously, I remember the whole first game. It was very special. It's something I remember a long time.
Luka for the tie, he got it!
Now it's way different than the first game, First game against him, against the Lakers, so it's obviously different. But I think now it's still special, but you just different situation, you're just trying to win.
No face, no case.
You recently won a bet with one of your teammates, Jalen Brunson, over a video game challenge you guys had. Can you please explain to America what happened?
So we played FIFA. The bet was if he loses, he gotta wear a Cowboy jersey because he's an Eagles fan,
It wasn't just that you made him wear a Cowboys jersey. Luka, what did the nameplate on the back of the jersey say?
Luka's son. I had to put some fun in it, make me proud.
What a performance. That's legendary stuff right there. Dončić pulls up, three-pointer. Bang! Dončić wins the game at the buzzer!
Las Vegas odds makers have said you are actually the favorite to win MVP this year. Do you think that you can do it?
I think I can do it, but that's not my first goal. Far from it. It's great to see that. My goal is always to win a championship. That's, I think, not just mine, the whole organization goal, and hopefully some days we can achieve it.
Yeah, all good. Who's the most important player in this matchup, Max, with the Lakers and the Mavs?
The most important player is Luka.
You hear me?
Luka is, yep.
Okay.
The most important player is Luka Dončić. By the way, I don't think he played especially well last night. He can play better than that. And what we're really looking for with Luka is a couple of things. One, you want that three-point shot to fall a little better than it fell last year, and he can shoot it, but he took a lot of them, and it wasn't like he was hitting them at a great percentage. And two, you want to see his defense improve. He's already playing at near MVP levels. I expect him to win the MVP this season. But particularly without Porzingis, he's going to have to do some team carrying. As I mentioned to start the show,
They're an exceptionally well-coached offensive team. They seem to have everything they need, or just about, if Porzingis is in, but they need Luka to be the best version of himself and to continue to develop in order to get there.
Well, I have to disagree with you again, Max, and I think it's going to be Anthony Davis. He's going to be the X factor in that game because no one on the Mad Porzingis, he still would have trouble guarding AD. AD eats his lunch every single time, takes his lunch money every single time they match up. So when you look at this matchup on Christmas Day, who's going to stop him? Are you going to put Cleve on him? You're going to put Powell on them? No one has an answer for Anthony Davis on the Dallas Mavericks. So I'm looking for him to have a monster night and bounce back from his season opener, which I think he didn't play well at all. I'm looking for him to have a 30-20 type night on Christmas Day. So Anthony Davis is the guy to look for in that matchup, in my opinion.
Well, I agree with you about the matchup, although Kleba, you could do worse than some of the guys that the Mavericks can throw. No one's going to stop a guy like Anthony Davis. That's why he's a superstar. And offensive players have a huge advantage. But in terms of teams that have long defenders who can do some job, like a good job on them, or as good a job as you'd expect for role players to do, I think the Mavs have some guys like that. I mentioned Kleba, Dorian Finney-Smith, guys like that. They ain't gonna match up with AD, but they're defenders. Without Kristaps Porzingis, you're right. AD should go get his. Does that make him the most important player in the game? Or does that make him a player who is fortunate that the other team doesn't have the guy most likely to match up with him who, yeah, AD is better than KP, but Porzingis is 7'3" and can really play defense, and you also have to worry about him on the other side of the court. Therefore, Luka has to compensate. He has to be the best version of himself for the Mavs to compete.
That's what I'm saying, though, Max. I'm saying it because no one could guard Anthony Davis, so he should go out there and dominate. That's why I'm saying he's the most important player in this matchup, because no one can stop him on the Dallas Mavericks, so he should have it his way and carry the Lakers to their first win of the season.
Well, you're making a prediction. I agree with the prediction. The Lakers should certainly be big favorites against the Mavs without Porzingis. I'm saying because of what you're pointing out, Luka's importance to his team is heightened. Like, the Lakers match up, like, that's a pretty good game if you took AD out. If it was, let's say it was LeBron. Let's say it was LeBron and supporting cast with no AD. It's still an interesting game. You put AD in the game, of course the Lakers are going to be favored to win, naturally. I'm saying that's why Luka becomes so important to his team. He's got to be the best version of himself to compete. I'm getting the sense that you slid down the chimney and someone ate your milk and cookies when you got there, Perk. You're grumpy today.
I'm grumpy.
All right. Yes. I'll just let that breathe for a moment. The last game of the night, guys, Kawhi and PG-13 try to get revenge on the Nuggets, the team who served their second-round playoff exit from the bubble after LA took a 3-1 lead in the series. KP, you're up first. Clippers, Nuggets. Who needs this game more?
It's the Clippers. The Clippers need this game more than the Nuggets, for the simple fact that they need to show the Nuggets that what they did last year in the bubble is a fluke, and this is not the same Clipper team. We have a new coach. Paul George is back to himself. Kawhi Leonard is back to himself, and they have to send a message to this young Denver Nuggets team that's basically saying, hey, you don't want to see us. You don't want this smoke. So it's important to the Clippers to go in here and smack the Denver Nuggets, to send a message and make a statement.
Sure, if you see it as the Clippers world, if you see this as the story of the Clippers, as the Clippers is the A side and the Nuggets is the B side. I don't think that's the way the Nuggets see themselves, and that's not the way I see this. I don't believe in playoff Paul George. Like, playoff Paul George is an insult, and it shouldn't be. He's a great enough player where that should be a compliment, but it hasn't been throughout his career, and the sample size is large enough that you see he clearly does not assert himself the way he should in the playoffs. He has some good games, then he goes away other games. He comes down in the world in those circumstances. What's Jamal Murray do? What's Jokic do? They give you that work, as you would say, Perk. They give you that work. And Portis Jr., also a horrible defender, but a real offensive talent, now has another year of experience under his belt. No, if you come into this thinking, look what happened to the Clippers last year, clearly they need the win more. Sure, because you think it's the Clippers' world or their story, fine. But if you look at it, the Nuggets, like, this is a team that's going to win a championship. They have, like, Jamal Murray's going to be in the Hall of Fame one day. Jokic will be in the Hall of Fame one day. Porter might be an all-star with his scoring if he can get his defense to come around it all. This is a team that was down but never out, it seemed, right, in the playoffs. The cardiac kids, and it felt like no lead is safe. No. The Nuggets have to be looking at this season like they're going for theirs right now. You don't want the Clippers send the message, look, last year it's different. It was a fluke. We didn't have our act together. What's that do for the Nuggets? The Nuggets got to send the message. That wasn't a fluke. We're here. We mean business. We're better than we were last year. And they're going for, the Nuggets have championship aspirations today. They want to win the championship, and they have good reason to believe that they can.
Yeah, and the Clippers want to win a championship too, Max. But when you talk about Paul George and his struggles in the playoffs, this with Paul George, these type of games, like the season opener against the Lakers, a primetime game, a Christmas Day game, he need to approach these games like it's the playoffs. This is a test for him. He need to have that mindset. He need to be locked in and focused like this is a playoff game and go in attack mode and show the world and show the Nuggets that anytime the bright lights hit the ice, I'm ready for it. And this is why I say that the Clippers need this game more than the Nuggets. By the way, they only blew a 3-1 lead to them, letting the Nuggets come back and win the series last year. So they need to come back and make a statement.
They need to make a statement that Paul George can play in the playoffs in Game 2 of the regular season. No, they can't make that statement. Nothing Clippers can do to make the statement you want them to make. Meantime, Jamal Murray, one of the special things about him, I mean, Jokic is just different. Jokic can bring the ball up. Jokic is the best passing 5 maybe of all time. He's certainly in the conversation. He can shoot from the outside. You bring up Montrezl Harrell and what a good player he is, and he can play defense and everything. Jokic, that was ugly, what Jokic did to him, and it's nothing against Montrezl Harrell. That's how good Jokic is offensively. And Jamal Murray, what makes Jamal Murray so special is not just his game, Perk. It's where, when the lights shine brightest, we already saw him have, against Utah, for example, one of the best playoff series you'll ever see, period. That was historically great what he did. So Jamal Murray is already a prime-time performer. So is Jokic. In those moments, they're like MVPs. Now we got to see Porter give them a legitimate third wheel if they are serious about challenging the Lakers, and I think they are.
But, okay, listen, I get it. I'm not taking anything from Jamal Murray. He had a hell of a run down there in the bubble in the playoffs. But he also struggled throughout the regular season. And I think Jamal Murray has to make sure that he comes out and approach this regular season like it's also the playoffs and show us that he could go in and night out and be consistent through a full season of basketball. He had one good run in the postseason, a small sample size. We need to see a larger sample size. We know what Jokic could do over a course of 82 games or 72 games. We have yet to see that from Jamal Murray, so he has to prove himself also, Max. Don't just crown him.
Oh, well, I agree with you, but that means you agree with me. In other words, what Paul George needs to show, he needs to show in the playoffs.